Debate is called for the first speaker of the government. Please start your written.
Alright, good afternoon here. Respected speaker, Council Secretary of the Board. I am after the first speaker of the opening government will give the definition, clearly definition, and also the intention of us, and then also deliver my argument about this policy that this House believes that apathy towards Catholicism is immortal. Before we go too far about this emotion, I will give you a clear definition about what is actually the apathy and what is actually moralism. The first, apathy itself is a lack of interest. What is it? Not have enthusiasm and concern about a thing that everyone can afford emotionally. And also we can move to the next key word about the immoral. Immoral is people who have respect about some of people to do. Like the example, if you are doing some reading for me and I'm not confident you're reading, this name is immoral thing. Alright, let's move to my first argument that I believe that the apathy of the politics is immoral. The first why I say like this is about disrespect about the nation. All of the educators and the speaker, the people who call apathy, a lot of them, it's a thing that I herself I do not care about the situation of the politics of some of the country. And like the example is in Indonesia, we have an election. So if someone have some apathy, there will if the Indonesia is to some election to people who have an apathy and moral thing, they will not care and not know and just not do election about the issues of the election about the election of the president itself. And secondly, about we are actually fooled. The people who do apathy, a lot of them is not have standing about their understanding the engage in the politics. So you may keep the understanding itself like the example itself is we know that nowadays case of the Bolivar family, there were influenced a lot of the people, a lot of the Muslim activists in Indonesia who may support that case. But if you ask not ask an apathic people, you may know that the Bolivar is an issue, and we don't know the right and also the wrong of that issue. That's why as the apathic people, it's also dangerous to live in like the country of Indonesia. But thirdly, it will be so impactful if all of the people, like the country in the cases in Indonesia, it will develop with apathic people. Because they will not have a standing of the understanding and also standing of the political itself. That's why it's very dangerous, right? Can you get what I mean, right? And also, it will, give some trigger to people may that hate the government just because the misunderstanding between the apathy people or between the news who give the apathy people to the apathy people who know that or will know about the case itself. That's why it's a very dangerous and a conclusion. So I believe that this house apathy towards politism is an immoral thing. Thank you for the time.
To open the case of opposition, we call for the first speaker of opening opposition. Please start your written.
Okay, also I'm going to finish 3, 2, 1. Okay, so thank you for the time. Our last member from the other judges. So I'm Risa from Assignment News as the first speaker from the opening opposition. I would like to say I am absolutely disagree with the motion. This constitutes the apathy towards politics and immoral. So I'm
calling for the second speaker of opening government, please start your time.
Good afternoon, everyone, the honorable educators, respected speakers, and all of your witnesses. Hi, my name is Nadia Sababullah, and I'm from Ansel Jibara. Today, I am, as the second speaker from the open government, would like to say that I'm totally agree with today's motion that this House believes that the Catholic mortality is immoral. Well, before I'm going to my argument, I'd like to mention about I would like to give a rebuttal as a response for the opening positions. And secondly, I would like to give an argument toward the motion today. And lastly, I would like to stack my positions again why I stand for those motions. So firstly, for the rebuttals. Well, actually, the first opposition already mentioned about the definitions of the Ahadi itself, or like the lack of interest, something like that. And she also mentioned about how it's immoral. It means that people are not moral, right? She mentioned that. So, what I mentioned today is my first opposition, my first speakers are mentioned about how is the definitions of the Ahadi itself, about how the lack of interest and enthusiasm is can be conditions. People do not care about their politics, right? And he mentioned already about the immoral thing, what kind of we can justify people as immoral. When we are justifying people as immoral, it means that they don't have any, they disrespect, I mean like they punish when people are disrespect of the one of the issues. Well, the first opposition already mentioned also about the rural area and something like that. Then, but she mentioned that is the concern of the opposition is about people's, we can't justify people's as immoral because they have apathy of the word politics, just because they are in a rural area, right? When I would mention that our elections today is talking about political issues in developing countries and Indonesia, that are international speakers also. And what do you mean by rural area? Rural area is part of underdeveloped areas, right? So if you care about the hospital getting information, they don't have enough information, something like that. But then, well, you know what? I give examples like for elections, for the president elections, even though they don't have many able to get information like through television or something like that. But still, the presidential election, for example, people like still do campaign like the Bellevue or something like that, and that can increase their awareness. Oh, okay, now the president for the presidential elections, there's three presidents, right? There's we need to choose three. So what is the best for the three? Even though the others don't have any access to electronic media like TV or something like that, they still can see how the people are behaving on their rural area, on their place. Like how people's like some people's when we cannot justify people's are care about politics and not care about politics. I mean like if you are in a rural area, then you just like, oh my god, there's a president or something. I think I'm just like 1, 2, 3, or I choose 3 or 2. It's like that. That's I call as antipathy, as immoral, and that's the point. But when it's different cases, if we talk about the rural area, then people are, oh my god, I don't have any access for the television, so I would like to pay attention of the vision and missions of every single candidate, so that people who are care about politics pay attention on that information. So I would call that as respectful for the nation because they don't harm the aspect. I would mention that this answer your question, but the and now moving on my argument. But I believe that why I totally agree with the motion today is because I using apathy for how they write. For example, you can take SWOT cases as examples. We all know that these elections are the SWOT things are, it's like normalized in this society. Because of what? Because people are antipathic. Because people are apathic. Because people do not care about what is the important of politics issues in the future. And if you are the only officer mentioned how bad is our politics itself in this country, I would mention that we could justify people as immoral so that they can realize that when they do apathy, that's immoral. So they can realize they can recognize that that's a harmful thing to do. So what I want to clarify in this question today, I am as the opening government would like to mention why it's important to call people as immoral if they don't have apathy. If they have apathy toward political issues. Those totally agree with this motion. This house believes that apathy toward politics is an immoral thing. Because like my first speaker already mentioned before about the apathy can cause disrespect of the nations, that people are easily fooled by the people's without any looking for the search from like that. And also the apathy is harmful. I need to clarify that apathy is a harmful, that's an immoral thing. That's why I totally agree with this motion. And now I'm standing as the second speaker from the opening government would like to mention that I stand for this motion, and I hope this motion should stand for the end. Thank you.
We close the open bench. We call for the second speaker of open opposition. Please start your comment.
I will start my speech in 3, 2, 1. Honestly, my name is Andrea Krishna Putra as the second speaker of the opening opposition today. Thank you for your guidance, thank you for your confidence, and also the all participants here. 15%. I would not say because the motion is very free motion because it is only about because it was very impactful to our country because we talk about the condition of our country, the situation of our country based on the limitation because limitation in Indonesia. Okay. I would like to highlight the motion right now. This house believe that apathy toward politics is an immoral. However, definitely apathy is it is a wrong. But immoral it is not really if you want to correlate between immoral and also apathy towards politics. Because of what? Did you have ever seen what is it read book like from maybe we brought a story or something like before you see the book from the history of the Western philosophy something like this one. The book that asks about who one people can be immoral in such a country. The people, first people who can make a cruel moment, make a bad situation moment is a government. Because why? Because a government, they have so many chances to make policy, to make boundaries to our citizens to study about politics, something like this one. Because of why? I would like to engage in this one problem. If you will, to judge people, to judge the citizens who are happy towards one politics, it is an immoral people. It doesn't really, it doesn't really right. Because of that, the politics is about people, the condition of this country, but the government system, something like this one. Who can make the policy? Can make the policy is the government, something like this one. I would like to tell about the first speaker of our government say about the problem of the million because because issue that most of people in Indonesia talk about, something like this one. If you want to try, okay, no offense, who's Mulyono here? But I would like to mention the participant, the politician here. Because if you want to try, the second speaker of the opening government say about SWOT in the election in something else. Who's doing SWOT? The people doing SWOT is like something election. The people who join like something election. I mean like caleg or maybe something like a cakdul and something like that. Cakdul and caleg. These people, they are people who very care about the politics because you join the political party because you join a political situation in Indonesia. But the problem is clearly. Listen to me clearly. Who is doing swap? Doing swap, people who doing swap is a talent of because they give money to the citizen and then the citizen should choose the talent of Tabu, something like this one. The Tabu and the talent is also the people who care about the politics. Because even if I pretended as the people who are in the politics because of talent in my area, because only they do the election just based on the swap. So I regret because my talent is very, very cool. Because my talent is very, very cool, people. Because my talent is very, very cool. Okay, so I didn't have what is it, anything to interact with you because what is it? Because they are so very, very cool people, something like this one. First thing first, I would like to say again and again, people who can make policy is the government. You know that in the United States, in Indonesia, what is it, the party in the KMI, something like this one. They more, what is it, valuable, what is it, to help even like one who they make, what is it, spreading information that good for the quality of education, something like this one. Because the government of Indonesia, they try to make the boundaries to our citizens to study about the political issues, something like this one. What is it? What they make, what the evidence, what I want to say. You know the buzzer. Buzzer is if you look over the you look over the Instagram, you will look so many buzzer over there. Buzzer look very, very crap for politics. But buzzer, they just pay. But they do something like caring for politics just because they pay by the time of the or maybe something people I mean a politician, something like this one. It is very, very cool moment. Because of it, we should look at the condition of our country. My first speaker has talked about the people who live in rural area. If you want to mention, you see that part people, oh yeah, because the apparatus, there is a 1, 2, 3, I need tattoo, 1, 2, 3, tattoo, 1, 2, 3, tattoo. And then people who live in rural area, some kind of people who live in Papua Island, there is no electricity. How can they see the PCC or something like this one? Because there is no access anything to enter this one problem. Because if you think about the people who live in Suba, you know, the people in Kalimantan and rural area in Suba, because they didn't want to enter the political result. Okay,
When you ask me how they can see the recent visions and missions, well, I think you never look for the valuable or something like that. Because when the valuable showing, there is visions and also missions. So people are knowing. But they are care about politics, so they can touch on that. This is the
You're not going to be very solo.
that's really all of this. One of the people, super, who is also people, it is also human, but the mention of the debate today, you say that people who have apathy in politics is immoral. You can mention who one people. You mean that one people who apathy is human, like asking the Israel, or maybe people who live in Suba, because they have some kind of vision and some kind of perspective, all perspective about what condition is something like this one. Okay. I would like to tell my continued argument. The next argument is government should know what is it. Increase the education level. Because of what? If you want to study about politics, you should to enter the college or maybe you should to enter the higher level education. Because the problem in Indonesia is the government didn't already provide education as well as food. Something like this one. If you want to try, okay, if you are living in Jakarta and you study politics, University of Indonesia, maybe you can study about politics. But if you live in a rural area, people there is no college over there, and you very, very hard to enter the education level, something like this one. How you can study about the politics situation in Indonesia? It is very, very dangerous. It is very, very cruel. If you are only saying people who apathy is immoral. Yeah, apathy is wrong, but the people who apathy
You're
is
very solo.
Thank you. Once again, I disagree with this motion. Thank you, guys. Okay.
So after the closing page, we go for the first speaker of closing government.
I would like to start my speech in 3, 2, 1. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon to the honorable judges, honorable gentlemen, and all the gentlemen here in this chamber at this time. And I want to thank everyone for giving me this floor to state my opinions in this motion. And the motion that we will be speaking is about that we as voting government, we agree that apathy towards politics is extremely immoral. I have a couple points that I've actually written down, but I would like to rebut first because there are a couple things I want to point out. From the
you absolutely get the woman on the opening opposition. There was a mention about the concerns when rural areas that they do not care about politics and that they also have a lot of interest with as well. They don't have electricity. How do they basically get into the media about politics? Well, basically, in a rural area, they should act one. They have the right to act on electricity and these facilities to begin with. But I also want to point out that what about that rural areas don't consume politics through electronics or basically like in the new modern era, but they still consume them in more physical media. For example, newspapers and radios, they still exist. And basically people in the rural areas, they still tend to do things more traditionally. No, thank you. And then basically, rural areas are very vigilant and we should engage in the way that they can intercept in a way and physical media, newspapers, and all of the physical media in general. And there was also a mention from the second speaker that this motion is tricky. Yes, I agree. And there was a mention about how the second speaker, the gentleman over there, has actually defined what apathy and immorality is within his motion. And I would like to point out that apathy and immorality can be separate, but within this motion is that immorality is describing apathy in this motion when it comes to politics. I would like to go back to the first speaker where they have mentioned that it is not a citizen's duty to care about this and politics. And I would like to mention is that, of course, maybe not everyone is into politics. I would like to even describe myself. I am not a political person. I do not follow the news or anything like that. And also, I feel like it's not my responsibility to care about this politics, but it is my duty as a future figure for the new generations to come. All of us are going to be future models for our new generations to come too. We want them to actually have a bright future. We want to provide everything they could ever need that we didn't have before. And now I'm
Right.
no, thank you. And here I would like to point out a couple of things. And it's that one, if we have apathy toward politics, it can affect the majority and minority and the entirety of the nation. And why is that? This entire country, including Kazakhstan and Indonesia, our country is built by politics on its own. We did independence and so on and so forth. And then basically, we cannot just abandon politics like that. We still, even if we believe that it's not our responsibility as a citizen, but it is our responsibility as a future father or mother in the upcoming years.
You're right.
Okay.
Yeah, I already said that apathy is very, very wrong way. But the disgusting thing, I would like to mention because of people who have like boundaries because of the situation, the government put the boundaries in the situation, so people they cannot enter the political system and they cannot care. Because the reality they really want because they cannot do like they want.
Your time is over. Well, I would like to go back to my recent point is that electricity or electronics isn't just the only way to get to know what politics is or what is happening in the country. We can get it from mouth to mouth from certain people on our families. We can get it from newspapers, radios, and so on for most. We still have physical media even though it's not
Yeah.
no, thank you. And next, I would also like to say that regarding the future generations that will be affected, that I would like to bring an example such as the economy. If certain concerning laws are not voiced, it will have full effect for generations to come. And why that politics still affect the government and because of these politics, because it will affect on what will come forward eventually. For example, is that a single topic such as uneven pay, older generations tend to tell stories like, it's normal, we've been through this a lot. But the thing is that the recent issue in our generation is that it's getting so much harder to get jobs, and that basically,
You're right.
okay, go for it.
Yeah, because of the swap that one. People who do swap because he is what is it? They are what is it? The people who will kill the politicians, the people who make the politicians, but the citizens are the victim here. So the problem is the government is very, very corrupt here because they do swap just for the election. That one.
Okay, thank you for your interruption. But I would also like to mention that within Indonesian context, this country is built by the people and for the people. And basically everyone in this country or this nation has the right to say uncertain laws. It's basically freedom of speech. We have the right to say that this is unfair and that
for this timer first. The game of POI is 30 seconds. To open next, we cover for the speaker of policy opposition. Please start your movement. Okay. I will start my debate in 3, 2, 1. Okay, thank you so much for the moderator that provided the speech and the honorable judges. First of all, I am from the closing opposition said that I am really and literally disagree with the motion that this House believes that apathy towards politics is immoral. Why am I? Okay, I'm gonna split my arguments into two. First of all, I'm gonna repeat my opponents, and the second of all, I'm gonna deliver my argument. Okay, the first speaker of the opening government said that to respect our nation, something like that. But you know what? We can to actually like respect our nation, not just about to care the political issue. And I'm gonna move to my argument. Okay, we know a lot of things happen nowadays. At some point, everyone is literally blowing up about political condition. But as we know, some people like have a lot of things to do that they actually didn't care about the political news. And we cannot assume that they are immoral just because they didn't care about the political news. Because we should look into another point of view of the people that is apathy about the political news. Okay, maybe some people, they are before, oh thank you, let me finish my argument first. Before that, some people maybe not as apathic as they are nowadays. They give the government the trust that they give the government the something like they trust the government of their nation. Okay, first, let me finish my argument first, okay? We give the government the trust that and they actually something doing like corruption and something like that. And we just maybe like, you know, if you are the analogy, if you are in love with something and then they are break your heart, broken heart, and didn't trust it anymore, it's kind of like it. And they are being apathy. That's it. We cannot assume that they are being immoral or something like that. Being not excited as something like politics doesn't mean you are immoral. You know, okay, for example, there is an issue about that, okay.
I would like to state that you have mentioned that not everything in the country or in the leadership is a political issue. Yes, but the majority of the issues come from a political standard. Like, for example, the underpayment in the economy, for example. And what do you have to say about that?
What do you say? Can you repeat it?
So it is, not every single issue is within politics, right? But let's say that every single issue is definitely from the politics itself. For example, the economy of underpayment within certain ages. What do you say about that?
Okay. Basically, I'm gonna answer that in my argument. And you know what? Okay, I'm gonna go to my argument first, okay? And you know, immoral means we don't have any immorality. But what about the government that doing nothing about issues? There's some like issues, you know, and the government, and we are blowing up about the issue, but the government is doing nothing about the issue. And who is immoral in this case? The government or the staff or the citizen? Basically, we have the right to be like didn't care about the political issue, and we cannot assume that we are immoral just because we didn't care about it. Basically, you should open your eyes and basically just look into another point of view of the people that is apathy towards the political issue in Indonesia. And that's all for me, and thank you so much. Next, we go on for the second speaker of local government, Ms. Nadia Kumar.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. I would like to first have my appreciation towards the honorable judges for being able to give the opportunity to be given the floor, and also also the honorable moderator as well for being able to be given the opportunity to participate once more as the closing government, and also to the people within this chamber for taking the time to listen through my points and my rebuttal. First things first that I want to state in regards to this motion is that we, from the closing government, would like to state and emphasize furthermore that we agree that we believe that it is immoral to be apathetic towards politics. However, before we get on to that, I would like to first refute my claims and also rebuttal in regards to the points from what the honorable gentleman from the closing opposition had to say in regards to this motion. One thing for sure is that the honorable gentleman from the closing opposition has stated that we have lots of things to do within our personal lives that it is gotten to the point that we do not care about politics. I would like to emphasize furthermore, through what the government has to state in regards to this, and it is our personal duty as citizens within this nation to participate within politics. Personal duty and responsibility to be able to participate in politics, whether it be informed, a one-time thing through votes, or many much more. And thus, it is ignoring further and further cases in regards to politics when their mindset is implemented like this. The second thing is that the honorable gentleman from the closing opposition has stated that we have trusted the government, but they broke our trust. The trust between the citizens and the government. I would like to state is that caring about politics should not always through the government, but through other means as well. A personal duty of ours as citizens, whether we, for example, I'm stating this here as an example. One, through protest. Second, mouth to mouth, just like what the honorable gentleman within my sector has stated, and many much more, whether through commentary, and many much more that I have stated. Many other alternatives that does not involve being a part of the government, but being a voice of the people within politics. Those are my rebuttals towards points and arguments that the honorable gentleman from the closing opposition has stated. Now I would like to go through my points. One thing for sure is that I would like to sincerely and amplify that politics affects everybody's lives, including yours as well, including mine as well. We are all ordered and also within our absolute duty and responsibility as citizens to follow law and order that is implemented and established through the ways of politics. Another thing is that many laws that politics implement play a huge role in life, within my life, whether it be business, personal, or school. And all of these have many categories, whether it be through religion, whether it be through gender, race, economy, basic needs, and social, cultural things. They play a part, and we all have to realize that. The second point that I want to explain, I want to point out, is that it is our absolute duty and responsibility as well to be a part of politics, involve ourselves in politics, and participate within politics. Politics represent you in a categorized way, whether it be through as a minority, or a majority, or progressive, or conservative. It is also a way to voice your concerns towards the government, the central hub, the absolute backbone of the nation itself. And thus, when we are apathetic towards this, we're also misusing our voices and basically ignoring our voice, our privilege as citizens to voice our concerns, what has been affecting us and other people within this nation as well. I would also like to exclamate morality. From my own definition within morality, it is to know if something is right or wrong. That also plays a huge part within politics. We need to know what is right for us and what is wrong for us, for within this nation right here. From what the government has done, we shall realize whether what they're doing is right or whether what they're doing is wrong. That is a part of morality. And if you were to be apathetic towards that, I would like to sincerely apologize. but you are misusing your voice as a citizen. I would like to explain. And once again, I encourage people that are within this chamber to at least consider once again, to use your voice, to be able to voice your concerns and make people around you more safer within this nation, within communities. Whatever category that you're within right now, it matters. And that matters through politics. And that is why I believe from the closing government, truly believe that we think that it's immoral to act towards politics. Because it plays a huge part within our lives, and I do not want that to be discredited. I would like to once again emphasize that. I would like to also thank the honorable judges, the honorable moderators, and also the people that are within this chamber to take their absolute time to listen to the points that I'm making and the rebuttals that I'm going to make in regards to this motion. Thank you all so much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
To close this debate, we call for the second speaker of closing opposition. Please give your opinion.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, dear judges and dear participants and dear organizers, I love you. So I will most likely support my opinion over here and basically explain more about my first speaker of the closing opposition argument more in my speech. So the opening bench of the opening opposition really have something to have a chance to be the winner of this match because why? They surely give an explanation about why this about the things in politics is not actually a mirror because we have to look at the other field of life of other aspects in life as well. And the second speaker of the opening opposition said that in our life there are people that was joined in the political side, government side, was doing as well because they want the voices of the people to receive the benefit from the government side. So it is true because in the reality right now, there are a lot of talent that was doing that because of the benefit of joining the government is really very big. And because of that, they do not care about the vision and mission that they are providing to the people. So it's not like really providing us with the vision and mission they tell us for. They just want the benefits of the government and they do not care about the people. That is the reality of the politics in our nation. So we from the citizen side, we people trusted the government the most, but as far as the time flew, we know that the government really did not care about people's life anymore because we trusted them and then they do a lot of corruption, they do a lot of bad things. We know that that is bad because it is like this privilege not benefiting us as the citizen of Indonesia, and that is bad because it's not really the point of being the government, which is to serve the citizen. From the citizen for the citizen. It's not, they're not doing that because they just want to benefit. They only want to benefit, they do not care about the people that was selecting them in this election. And because of that, the government really not knowing anything about Indonesia. Because in Indonesia there's still a lot of poverty, there's still a lot of education in Indonesia. But the government did not care about that, they just want to care about the position in the government tier. Like they just take the money to be the talent, to be the president or to be the government. They do not care about the people. That was the point, the main point of being the government itself. And because of that, they are not really doing anything to us. And that's why we as the citizen itself cannot trust the government anymore and be an apathetic person. So an apathetic person is not boring, like just boring. It just from the government itself. So how you gonna blame the people when they be apathetic because of the government itself? So you should blame the government, not the people that was being apathic, because the people that was being apathic, be apathic itself because of the government. They do not be apathic because they want to be apathic itself. They need a reason to be apathic, and that is the reason for being apathic for most of the people is because of the government did nothing that benefiting the people from Indonesia. They just do a lot of corruption. They just don't. They just go to a lot of crime that was happening there for their own for their own family and their own fun. They just don't care about the nation's future. They just want the benefit from joining the government itself. So I think for being apathic is not really immoral because the apathic person has a background itself for being apathic, and that is the reason why we are from the closing opposition clearly disagree about today's motion. And thanks to all of you that was delivering my argument and my opinion, and I think that's it for my speech. Thank you.
The debate on climate change has finished, and please give applause to our I want to say thank you to all of you guys and to judges and for the participants here. For this, you have 15 minutes to do stories.